Hello, it's Jeff again, Photography by Jeff. Wanted to do this video because I was asked by somebody in Australia to do a high fashion edit of an image. When I got the image, I thought, holy cow, what do you want me to do with it? So I was really skeptical, and I said, look, you've got to give me exactly what you want corrected. I don't want to guess at any of this. And the director was nice enough to tell me she wanted about 4 or 5 things corrected. So I wanted to go through those because this is a really good tutorial on how to do that. First thing she wanted corrected is you'll notice a sock line here on the model where you have a lighter skin tone than on the rest. So my first thought on that was I'm going to have to burn that in to even it out. The second thing she said is she wanted to this gap in the hair. She wanted that hair to be a little more full. And then the third thing that we'll cover is she wanted the tummy kind of tucked a little bit, and she wanted the legs thinner and the skin and her arms thinner, and then the skin smooth. So let's tackle probably one of the most difficult ones first. You notice I've already copied the background. I'm going to zoom in so that we can start to look at what the first thing that I'm going to correct, which is the hair, which I thought was one of the most complex. There are tons of different ways you can do this. In Photoshop, probably one of the best ways is to do a content aware fill so that you can get that hair nice and even. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly select the hair, the face. I don't really care as long as I get the area that's affected as well as some hair along the sides. Really not too concerned about much else. I'm going to copy that, paste it into a new layer. Now I'm going to work with just that layer, and I can mask off other things as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to select I'm going to select the area that I want to fill with hair. And don't ask me if this works on bald people. And go to Edit, Fill, choose Content Aware, and OK, and just kind of see what it gives me. It actually gives me pretty much what I want at that point. So what I'll do is I will go in and I'll create a mask and just take a good sized brush and my opacity up to 100. And I'm just going to take out everything I really don't need. I'm going to merge this layer later, so I don't care, you know, if it stays good or not. But let's take a look at what it looks like. Now we'll see without the patch and with the patch. I mean, it's pretty daggum good for not really having to do anything. I'm going to go ahead and merge that layer, merge those two layers. Just so that if I make any other corrections, it's great. There were some skin corrections that the director wanted, and I'll show you how I did those. They were minor. Let's go over the second correction, which I think is probably a bigger thing, and that's slimming the arms and the legs and the tummy. And to do that, we go to Filter and we choose Liquify. Now remember, I'm not doing this to the degree that that I would if I was really taking my time on it. 10 minutes in YouTube. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Liquify tool under Filter, Liquify, and I'm going to choose the Pucker tool. I'm going to increase my brush size. It's almost faster to do it this way. I want to get the widest spot, which really is going to be probably about her thigh to start with. Let's see if that's enough. Yeah. And I'm not going to actually cover the whole thigh. I'm going to cover the edge. And the reason I do that is because the middle's okay. I really don't care about the middle. But just one tiny click. It is sensitive to pressure, so don't click and hold down. Otherwise, you get some nasty, you get a real nasty kind of pucker into it. Now you'll notice I have a little hard spot right here. Because one edge of the leg is covered, it's really not too important that I get that. But you notice if I pull here, it should pull both of them in. But see, it pulled out part of the leg. So just be careful where you pull out. It may pull in, or pull in where it may pull out. Okay, so let's work on the leg now. Just, a little bit at a time, just walking down the leg, thinning it out. I think I'm going to thin down just a little bit more. And for symmetry, we're going to do this leg. Now, what about the knee? Yeah, you'll want to reduce the knee because overall, the whole thing has changed. And we've got to go back and trim that up. So we get a little bump there. So you got to be careful that you get areas and make them look natural. Okay, next thing I did is I pulled in the arm, and there's two techniques for pulling in that arm and pulling down that shoulder. Pulling it down, pulling it down. It also appears larger because it's closer to the camera. We do want to leave this this muscle right here. That's actually the tricep muscle, the largest muscle in the arm. You kind of want to leave that, just strategically clicking where it would minimize that. It's also accentuated by these shadows. This shadow, which makes it appear fat, as the director called it. No way is this kid fat. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do was another request that the director wanted. She wanted a higher cheekbone. So to do that, I'm going to take this tool, which is the forward warp tool. I'm going to do my brush down a little bit smaller, and I'm going to take her cheek and just move it up a little smaller brush size. I'm going to push part of the cheek in, too much, and pull part of the cheek out. And what that does is it creates a higher cheekbone. You could go ahead and just move this around, but you're really not going to get much of a different cheekbone since it's square to the camera. There's nothing that tells you it's big or small. We could take care of this collarbone just a little bit. We want it smoother. We'll also take care of, we'll go back to the pucker tool. Let's take care of the neck. This is a real popular one with models to create a real thin neck. Gosh, this goes against everything I believe in photography ethically. This makes this person does not look like this. Once we get finished, you drop 20 pounds off of their body. I just have a problem with it. But some people need this and they want to show it. The last thing I do is I'm going to make her booty just a little bit bigger. Give me a bigger brush size. Come on, there we go. So all I'm really going to do is just give her that curve of a bottom. So a little technical difficulty, but I've puckered her stomach, thinned her legs, and let's just get a look at what it looked like before and after. You'll begin to see how we've this is not the same person in my opinion, and like I was saying, it's in my opinion, this is unethical. It gives the wrong idea to young women and men of what the perfect body is. But anyway, we've thinned the arms, we've thinned the legs, we've thinned the stomach, we've raised the cheekbone, we've filled in a clump of hair that had a small patch in it. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on evening out the skin tones around the sock line. Really not too tough, just simple dodging and burning. You'll see kind of right where your sock would be, it just suddenly gets lighter. So real simple, we're going to take the burn tool, go to midtones and a low exposure, and we're just going to kind of paint in a darker color. Really not much to it. We want to make sure that line just goes away. Be careful not to get into the background. So if you step back now, we're at 100%. If we step back now, it's fairly even. This leg, the left leg's a little bit more pronounced, so we spend a little more time, probably just until the ankle or maybe over the foot. Okay, and we're going to do one more technique. Notice that ankle got a little more red. What I would do with that is I would use the patch tool, or I'll just go ahead and do the dodge tool, giving me a larger brush here, and I'll take out, start with the midtones at a low, and just take that out. And we'll go with highlights next, as it really stands out. Stands out even more. If I don't like it, take the patch tool, go over that dark area, and I'm going to move it to a spot that's really smooth. So it leaves some of the shadowy types of areas and gets rid of others. Okay.